Okay, welcome. Today's project section. So what I want to do is basically to create a database for an Airbnb listing project. Just few tables, and then from there we insert. I'm going to insert a table inside the database, and then use the few data there to query, and then to try to make meaningful inferences from the data, and as it relates to querying, filtering multiple columns, filtering test columns, grouping and sorting, and then aggregating also, and of course finding missing data, if uh, I'm missing data on that particular database, right? So that's what we want to do. That's what I want to do at the moment. So just um, join me as as I start this, right? So first thing we want to do is create a database, right? So you do database, right click and do new. Then of course another SQL project, SQL on the SQL project, uh, Airbnb listings. Yeah. Or we should just say SQL Airbnb. SQL Airbnb. So no space in between. SQL Airbnb. Yeah. So just do OK. Yeah, so you can see that our database has been created, but at the moment there is no table, right? This supposed to show us where the table is. So there is no table at the moment, right? So we need to create a table, right? So we go here. Just to clarify, I'm using the Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio, right? Some of us have access to online, um, query platforms, right? Some use PHP, some use other platforms, right? But at the moment, I kind of use this, but of course, I've used other platforms too during my training processes, right? So, but this is quite, it gives you that both that confidence that okay, you're able to, because I downloaded this, I installed it, I connected in my SQL Server Express, and I'm able to manipulate, bring in database and insert it. So it's easy for me to use. Basically, that's what I'm trying to clarify. So basically, we go into creation of tables. So create table, right? Course name of the table, excuse me, BNB listings. Yeah. So just to make it tidy, right? So the first thing we have on there is ID. ID is integer, right? So we have city, right? City is a text character. So we use a varchar. Let's use 20. Let's use 20. 20 is fine, right? So we have country. Country is also varchar. So we can use 10 country. I'll use 15. Let's use 15 for country because I'll be using South Africa. So It's okay. So number of rooms in each of the countries. Yeah. So this is integer, right? We also have year listed, right? The year these rooms were listed. It's also an integer, right? So we close up the functions and then we execute. So this is successful, right? You won't see it because it doesn't automatically refresh itself. So you have to refresh, right? It's refreshed. Yeah, so this is the table we just created, right? Right is underneath tables and underneath the database, right? So what do you want to do next? We want to insert data inside this table. So meaning we want to, insert the data. So we have insert into where now Airbnb listing table values. What are our values? Remember, the first one is integer, so that's one. You also, you just want to be clear so that in case any other person watching this is the first time looking at an SQL, data. So basically, between integers and virtual characters, you need to be able to distinguish. And when you are creating your code, you need to ensure that you put parentheses behind, you know, um, the text characters. You don't need parentheses on the integers, right? But the text characters, you need to use the parentheses to distinguish them, right? So we have Nigeria, so we have 15 rooms in Nigeria. Let's use 15, let's use 2019, right? And then so we're able to use this to create other. So this this is 2018. This is 10 room. Because assume Ghana doesn't have too much rooms compared to Lagos that is as popular. Yeah. And then this is 2, right? So the same thing. Um, do this 2023, and there's this 20 rooms here. This is South Africa, and we have Johannesburg, right? Uh, Johannesburg. I have to be sure about the spelling. So, um, Johannesburg. Okay, got it. Johannesburg, right? And then what else? Let's put in the null, right? So that when we also do analysis on null, we are able to get excuse me, to get you know needed information on that. So we create a null data, right? So that's so we could decide to leave this out as null, right? Empty, basically. But let's say legal. Let's say Rwanda. Let's say Rwanda is just 5, and this is way back in 2015, right? And then we're able to close with that. So let's query this and let's see. Okay, so we have issues there. Okay. We have 2 commas, right? So let's see. Because must be the same. So let's do this. Let's put a comma, right? So let's see if that works. Yeah. So now that works. We brought in our null. We can decide to bring in more actually, but at least we have one null, right? So that is okay for analysis. So let's look at what our table is. So how do we look at what our table, look at the content on our table? So select, or basically okay, so let me use a comment here to kind of highlight what I want to do on each. So first is get all the columns from the table, right? So if you don't know that, this is how you insert comments, right? On, so we could also use that here, right? As the first assignment, as the first, excuse me, the first entry that was done is to create a table, right? So that is, and then we started insert data table. Okay. Yeah, so here what we want is get all the information. So we use the select tool, select, so we use that. We want to select every information on the table. We want to see it. So basically we want to get an understanding, you know, of your table. So I want to understand the table more. That is why I'm doing this, right? So basically it's from, and the reason why I'm putting in capital letter is to, in caps, is to make it presentable, to make anybody wants to read this, easily get it. If you're using small letter cap here, it will make it presentable. So it's okay, just stick to the standard, which is cap all necessary functions, and then be able to write others, Airbnb listings, right? This is what you do, what you enter, to what you use to query, just to see the table, right? So that's what I want to do now. So basically, this is our table, right? You can see here IDs, number of rooms, the years they are listed, right? So that is it. It's a simple table, a 4-row, 5-column table, you know. Um, what next? What do I want to see? Let me see. Get city from column. So basically, get city column from the table. Yeah. So how do you do this? Select city, right, from Airbnb listing, right? So what does this? The city column is what we want to see, and we just want to see the city column. Now you notice that we have the city column, but on the line 4 we have nothing. So we could also decide to say get city column from Airbnb where, right, where you know where city is now, right? City is not means there is no data, right? So this is what you see here. This is what you get here. There is no data, right? So we can know city is not null, meaning that it's not null, meaning that city return all columns, right? Yes, city is not empty, basically. Where city has data, where city has characters, right? So that's what you have here. So if you select this, where you see that it returns, you know, returns it. Where city is not null, it returns it. But you're looking at it, so why is it still returning, right? 4, right? So where city is not, so you can use where city is not, you can use this too, and let's see what this returns. Yeah. So that's that. So we can also query to see city and year listed column, right? Let's see more than one column, right? City and year listed column from the table. So select city, excuse me, comma, year listed, year listed, yeah, from Airbnb listing, right? So let's see. So what they have, we have both, the city and the year. So this is what we're saying. Let's see where the city have and the year that you know uh, the rooms in those cities were listed, basically. Right? That's what we're looking at here. What else can we analyze? We can also analyze getting the listing, um, yeah, so we could get the ID, the city, and we can order by, the number of rooms. Now we can choose the kind of order we want them to be. So we could also look at this. So get the ID city, right? And then you can order by the number of rows, right? To do that in ascending order, yeah, in ascending and descending, yeah. So that's in ascending and descending order. So either of, we're going to use, let me see the two, yeah. So let's select ID city, right? ID city from Airbnb listing, right? Order by um, number of rooms, right? So by default is ascending. So you can put it in there, but by default it's going to be as SQL use ascending to sort. So even if I put order by rooms and I didn't put ascending, it's still going to sort it in that manner, right? Okay, so we're talking about now order by number of rooms. So ID, city, order by number of rooms. So you would have expected that there will be um, um, number of rooms here. So let's add number of rooms to so that it shows the execution ascending. You see, it's ordering by number of rooms, ascending it from. So basically, what we want to do is want to say, right? Um, what is the ascending number of rooms from the lowest to the highest, right? But here you see, city is null, right? What we could do is we can decide to insert a character, right, inside that particular um, field, right? So we can do that in the dot. Let's do it because I wanted us to use the null for analysis, right? So basically that's what we have here, right? Yeah. So the next is to see the descending. So we could just copy. So the descending is from the highest to lowest. So descending is from highest to lowest. You execute. Yeah. So you see the descending. So you can also decide the order by the ID, right? If it was to be ordered by the ID, right? You will see 4 to 1, right? So it depends. You can basically it's basically sorting, like sorting or the ranking, in ascending or descending order. So what else? We can also look at um getting the listing of cities. Okay, I've mentioned order by descending. We can look at that, get the first 5 rows, right? So um how do we fix that? We only have 4, so we can just get the first 3 rows on this particular table, right? So you can look at get the first 5 rows, goes from Airbnb table, Airbnb listings table. So basically, still select all, right? Select all from Airbnb listing, from Airbnb listing, limit limit 3, right? So limit 3 is the limiting what you want to access, right? So okay, limit it, because sometimes syntax too matters, right? Okay, so what could be the problem here? Let's see. Airbnb select all, yeah, Airbnb listing, limit. Yeah, okay. Okay, so something is off somewhere. Okay, so incorrect syntax. Okay, okay, say limit 4. But because we have, okay, so um, 2 rows, so it could be, what could it be? What could the issue be? Because if I run this works, right? Yeah, so like say select the first 3 rows. Select the first 3 rows. So select all, limit by 3. I'm not sure if this works. So by is not supposed to be there. Okay, we will then get what the issue is here. This is at 10. So, but okay, we'll see what the issue is. Okay, limit is execute. So from Airbnb limit to basically, so it could be as well of the table, but it's okay. Yeah, let's to um let us see the first 3 rows, right? So we could also use, select top 3, right? Select top 3 from um from Airbnb listing. Let's see if this works. Keyword from, so what could be the issue? Start to rows. Okay, so basically I was trying to use another method to, to get this out. So what other ways can I use to do that? There must have been a reason why that didn't work though. Um, yeah, first two rules could be select 1, 2, 3. Let's see, does that work? Okay, no, that's creating a new column. Where select all, where select all, where ID equals to 1, 2, 3. Does that work? Let's see. Okay, so select where ID between 1, 2, and 3. So no, no, no. 1, 2, where ID is where ID is 1, 2, and 3. ID is equals to 1. So you can easily get that. So if I want to combine 1 to 3, so where ID is equals to 1 and 2. Where ID is equals to 1, where ID is 3 and 4, 10. Where ID is where ID between 1 and 3. Let's see if this works. Okay. So basically, I don't know why the limit don't work, but maybe it's a function of this. But this result is what this should return from Airbnb. Airbnb, where Airbnb limit by limit 3, right? It's the same thing that should execute. It's limited by, I don't know, it could be because of, could be the SQL query thing, right? Yeah, so it should return the same thing this returned, right? So it's okay. This works. So we move. What else can we query in here? Look at on this data. Can look at getting unique list of cities, right? Where they are listing. So, but in this case, they are unique. You know, except we had more, more, more countries, right? So we can add more countries to the table. Um, so we could still have South Africa, right? We could have, where's in South Africa? South Africa, Joburg. I think let's look at countries in South Africa. Look at countries. I mean states. in South Africa, so that I can use that to update the table basically. Gutang, so we can use Gutang. Gutang is Gutang, right? Can use Gutang. We can use Gutang for, let's say, for Nigeria, for Lagos. Can um, yeah, remember because we already had that, so it's not going to accept it. So we have 5, yeah, because we already have 4. That's 2013. We can have just 2, right? So could also bring in Lagos, Nigeria. Add 2 more to Lagos. Um, yeah, so we can have 6. That's basically row 6. We can have Ibadan, Nigeria, Nigeria, and then we could have a 6. We could have way back 2012, right? And then we have Ghana, so let's add one more. So we have Ghana. We have Ghana number 7. Ghana could have Tema. Ghana, right? Tema Ghana is a popular place. You could have 9. And go way back 2011, right? So this is what we want to enter, right? We will execute 6. Up on there. Yeah, 6. Ibadan. 2012. Yeah. Yeah, 6. Okay. Okay. I didn't put a comma there, so that's why it's very important that you check your. So let's see the new let's create a new table listing to see what our table now looks like, right? So we now have 3 additional rows, right, to use to analyze, right? Now what I want to look for here is like the extinct country, right? Because you have twice everything in here twice. You only have Rwanda as one, right? Okay, so let's do one additional one. Let's include an extra for Rwanda, so that's 8. Now let's put states in Rwanda, states in Rwanda. What do we have? So we could use Kigali. This is Kigali. Kigali is popular. Kigali, Rwanda, right? Kigali, Rwanda, right? So we could have Kigali is popular, so we could have a 14. In terms of number of rooms, we could bring it up to 2020. Yeah, so Kigali is close, right? So let's execute this. We always remember the code. So let's see. Let's look at the listings. So Rwanda. Okay, so we now have 8. So we have two Rwandas, two Nigerians, two South Africa, two Ghana, which is fine, right? Now, what do we want to achieve here? We want to see, right? We want to see distinct, countries where they are listing. So how do we go about that, right? Yeah. So saying get the unique list of of countries where there are listings. Yeah. So basically, you start with select. Yeah. But because we don't want any duplication, because if we just use select, it's going to just return all. Now we have two Nigerians, we have two Ghanas, we have to run one. We only want the distinct value, right? So you have to include distinct, distinct, distinct country, country, distinct country, right? From Airbnb listing. Yeah. So this is what we have. That we can say distinct countries, right? Where listing is let's say greater than 10. So you could decide to where number of room is greater than 10, right? Let's see what this returns. Yeah. So we can say number of rooms, so as to have that column as part of our return. See, where number of rooms is greater than 10, where number of rooms is less than 10, right? So that also gives us, so number of rooms is less than 10, Ghana and Nigeria, right? So it still gives us that information that we need. So so it gives us a unique country. It's not global, it's telling us where number of rooms greater than 10, where number of rooms less than 10, right? So because when number of rooms less than equals to 10, it's still going to give us the same thing, right? Less than equals to 10. So it starts from 10. So it means Ghana has, so if you do greater than 10, it gives us the same, so yeah, this should be kind of basic, right? But it's very good to know, right? So we could also use when number of rooms is equals to 10, right? Still gonna get the same, right? It's only Ghana who has 10 rooms, right? We could also use when number of rooms is between, right? Is between, you could use between 1 and 20, right? This is going to return everything though, because everything is within that range, right? So you return everything. So we could do between 9 and 20, returns everything starting from 9, right? So it's it's what it is, right? It's what it is, right? So it's just letting us get details about you know the distinct data where you don't have applications and you're able to, yeah. So another thing we want to look at is test columns. So filtering test columns. It's still very straightforward. We could say select all where city is Nigeria, right? But remember, here parenthesis is very important, right? SCT is Nigeria. We execute that where city is Nigeria. I mean, SCT is Lagos. Excuse me. SCT is Lagos, right? So that's what you see. That's what you get, right? Um, this is city is Tema, Ghana. It's the same thing it's going to return. It's going to return what the listings we have in Tema, Ghana, which is now in 2011, right? So we're going to look at getting the listings of you know of you know countries. So listings based in say Nigeria and Ghana, right? So basically, um, still the same thing, Airbnb, right? And then where the country is the column we're looking at. Where country in it's where the in function comes in US, USA, in um in Nigeria, and South Africa. Africa, right? Let's see what this returns. Yeah. See, so this is giving us some detailed information about all the Airbnb listings, the number of rooms, right, in Ghana, I mean in Nigeria and South Africa. Right now, we selected whole. That's why everything is returning. We could just want to see the country and the number of rooms. So we can just say select country, right? Select number of rooms only, and then it only returns that to us, right? So you need to be it's basically just toggling around full data for our query, and we're also looking at okay specifics. The countries, let's see the countries with the number of rooms, right? As it is, you can also decide to order by to sort. Say order by what? Order by number of rooms, that's the integers. Number of rooms. And we can say descending. So meaning that the highest is lowest, right? So this also gives us so it's very key and important, right? It allows us to be able to see things, in a much more detailed way, right? What else? What else do we have? Excuse me, I wanted to check something there. Okay, yeah. So basically, that's what we have about you know about countries and the number of listings we have in those countries to be able to know them. So what else can we do? We can also look at um, you know listings where letter starts with number J, or letters where numbers I mean letter starts with number S or with number N or with G. So basically, it depends. You can have lots of data and you quickly want to get something instead of processing the whole data. You just want to use a wildcard. It's called wildcard to be able to to access, information. So let me put in a comment for this. Um, get all the listings where the cities starts with first let's see our record, right? Okay, where city starts with let's say this starts with G. Let's say this starts with G. Starts with G, and where city does not end does not end in does not end in G. Does not end in G. Let's look at that. Does not end in G. Right? It's not end in G. So that could have select all from here, right? Where city, so we'll bring in the like function. Like, now start is G, so this is called wildcard, right? So to indicate how you want to, more like, when you have all this, when you're writing something continuous, right? So instead of writing the rest, you put this in, right? And city not like right? So let's see what this returns. Cities not like the Airbnb, where cities like G. Okay, let's see what this returns first, right? Okay, so basically what are we saying here? Where city like G, so where city starts with G, right? Starts with G. So okay, so my where city starts with G and says not where city not like okay. Let's start with G. Okay, that's it. Yeah. So basically, not like G means does not start with G. Hmm? Like G means starts where city name starts with G, right? So that's why we only have Gauteng here because this is G. But where city not like G means every other cities that their name doesn't start from G. This is very useful for analyzing, significant, a lot of data, right? where you want to quickly just see information, and then you are not you don't want the processing to be delayed by querying a lot of information. This is very useful. So if we want to see the name that ends with G, um, right? Name ending with G now, not starting with G. You notice the wildcard has been returned to the front, right? Ending with G, we have Johannesburg, we have Gauteng, right? So if we say not like G, means that every other city aside from those, every other city that doesn't end with G. So basically, it's something that that can be used often, right? It's um it's useful in its own way, right? Um, right? Yeah. So right. So we could exit hall. So what do we have? Same, right? Same, similar Utang, right? Every other person that doesn't start with it, right? So here, every other city that doesn't have that. So it's what's very very important and useful data. We can also look at um, um, getting all the listing in a particular country where the number of room is bigger than you know in particular city where the number of room is bigger um, um, a certain range, certain amount. So we could say get all listings in in Paris, right? Or in you say in Nigeria, or in South Africa, where number of rooms number of rooms is bigger than let's say five, bigger than five, right? Right. So we still select all, right? From Airbnb, where country is equals to member South Africa, number of rooms of room is greater than five. Yeah, so if the number of room is less than five, right? This is it. If it's greater than five, is less than five, true, right? So you say number of room, right? Number of room between two between 2 and 20, right? Let's see what this returns. Returns to us everything. Let's say 615. It only returns to us 2 because only one that is between that particular range. So it's also very important stuff. We also look at listings in say Nigeria. you know, or say listings in Nigeria where um, the gear listing is 2012. So either ways, we could look at it this way. Um, say get all listings in Nigeria, right? Or the ones that were listed after 2012, right? 2012, right? So we could work with this. Let's say select all from Airbnb where sit where country equals to Nigeria, or now returns in between, or is this or this, or year listed is 2012. It is greater than 2012. So greater than 2015. Let's see what that returns. Where country is Nigeria, or greater than 20. So the all we had there is saying that, well, listen, is greater than 2015. So it returns this Nigeria, which is this two, and also returns all this, right? Where the year is greater than 20, as you can see, right? You notice Nigeria is 2012. So basically, it does this function, processes this function, Nigeria, Nigeria, and then now processes any other thing in this function. So you have two functions, or, right? If we have used and, let's see what has returned. See, Nigeria and year listing is being Nigeria. So look at it. So this is looking at, okay, select all the table where country is Nigeria and the year listed is greater than 2015. Now it's looking at just Nigeria. Or look at all the Nigeria where year listed is 2015. Let's take a look at Nigeria in details. How many years do we have in Nigeria? We have two. Look at it, 2012, 2019. But when we put this function, what it does is it looks at all Nigeria and looks at the year listed where it's greater than 2015. And that's why it's returning this only, right? So this is just looking at how Nigeria is performing in terms of the number of rooms listed, right? And then we've looked at is null, right? Look at where, yeah. So now we look at, let's look at aggregation, a bit of sum, max, and the likes, right? So for aggregation, we are basically looking at summation, mean, max, averages, right? Basically, so let's look at getting total number of room available. Get the total numbers of rooms available across all listings Yeah, total available across all listings, right? Total number of rooms available across all listings. So this is total number of rooms available, right? You want to know the total. So select sum, right? Select sum, and because of standard, it would be nice to keep to that standard. So let's capitalize our sum. Sum number of rooms, right? From, yeah, so this returns total number of rooms you have across all board. You have 81 rooms, right? You have 81 rooms in total. Now with this, you can also look at average, right? Because we have average number of rooms. You have total number of rooms. So here we'll be looking at the sum, AVG, the mean, max, right? So that's clear. So in here is the average number of rooms across, right? Average number of rooms is 10, right? We're going to be looking at max, which is the highest, the highest number of rooms. Now look at this and say, oh, average number of rooms. Okay, so we want to use the max. Max on its own will not give us, will not reveal anything, because this is just, we can say average. Okay, so average number of rooms. Okay, that's fine. But when we say max, max is you want to know the highest number of maximum rooms, right? Now, this will be well understood if you're saying across, say, in all the countries, which of the countries has, or the cities has, the maximum, the highest number of listings, highest number of rooms. Now we could bring in, right, countries, or we could bring in city, to further explain that, right? And we could say order by number of rooms, right? So if we're saying maximum, um okay, what's the issue? Break that from group by. So it's complaining that group by group by. Okay, let's see. Does that work? Let's see, country, group by country. Let's see, does this work? Yeah, so it does. So even if you don't need to go by country, let's see what this returns, right? Okay. So basically, we just want to understand the maximum number of rooms, right? So the max is this, right? But we can say as max rooms, right? So that we have a name actually. So that's how I give column names as max rooms. Max rooms. You can see group by country, group by country. Right, so this, yeah, right. So you can have order by order, you can have order by. So basically saying maximum number of rooms in each country. So the max in Canada is 20, the max in Nigeria is 15, the max in, so like that. So we cannot, you cannot say, you can say, you can also look at things like counts too, right? Can look at counts. Okay. So basically this revealed, oh, Ghana, in Ghana the highest number of rooms is 10. And so now we can also look at, you know, year listed to further um, give it that feel. In what year was that, you know, by country. Yeah. Okay. So it's okay to have it this way, right? So um okay, yeah. All right. So this is what we have here, right? So we're able to know the highest number of rooms by country, right? So also we can look at minimum number of rooms. So basically it's still talking about the same thing. So minimum number of rooms we have, right? So this is basically returning the minimum number of rooms, right? And then we can also look at total number of rooms for each country, total number of rooms for each country. So it's very interesting because we're saying it's sum up, you know, the total number of rooms, and let's see each for each country. So total number of rooms for each country, right? So we select country first, right? Some comma, let's comma there, some number of rooms, right? From Airbnb listing. Now you can go by country so that it brings the countries together and use that to sort the sum. So because if you sum this and you go by country, now we know what's how to, so let's go by country. So what do we have? Go by country, number of rooms, go by country from Airbnb listing, go by, I miss the by, go by country. Yeah. So the total number of rooms, okay, we can say some rooms as total rooms, right? Right. So total rooms in country, Ghana, Nigeria. So this is saying in Ghana the total number of rooms for all Airbnb is 19, right? In Nigeria the same, and of course, right? We can also use this to get the average number of rooms, and that's why, you know, aggregation is very important. So you can use this to get the average number of rooms. So we can say AVG, average room, right? Which is also very important. So it means that the average number of rooms in Nigeria is 10, right? So we can use that to get the mean, the max. The same process, we can use it for the mean and max, which is also very, very key, right? So we can use mean, yeah. So here's a minimum room, um, minimum rooms, yeah. So there's the minimum number of rooms, basically the lowest, the smallest number of rooms in that country. So we use max, highest number, so it's equal to, so this highest number of rooms in each of this country, right? You can also look at so so we can also look at for 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 say Nigeria and South Africa, for Nigeria and South Africa, get the average. So we can say get the average number of rooms per listing in each country, right? So this is just in this country. So basically we are still, let's bring this in. What's our average? Let's bring this in, right? So this is the AVG, average rooms, right? Average rooms, yeah, go by country, and then we can have can have can have average number, yeah. Then we have where country in Nigeria, South Africa. Yeah, so having around runs in Nigeria and South Africa. Yeah. So you can easily use that. You could also like get the number of cities per country. So let's see. You can say get the number of cities per country. Get the cities per country. So we select country, count cities, and city from Airbnb. So I can group by country now because countries. Yeah. So basically, what this does is you can get a number of cities by country. So what this does is it's looking at the countries now counts all the cities, right? As number of cities, then it's given by so country how many number of cities they have. It brings the number. So that's what do we have? Country, goodbye. I keep forgetting that goodbye. That's why you check your codes always. So you see that each of them are 222 number of cities, right? That's how the table is structured, right? So we can get all the years where there were more than 20 listings, right? So we could say we could just to copy that to get the year where there were more than 20 listings per year. Listings per year. Per year. So basically, so that year listed, right? Year listed, group by the same year listed, and then having counts. They get all the years. And so the goal is select year listed. So all the years that have more than 20 listings. More than 20 listings is more than 20 number of rooms, right? So for example, more than 20 number of rooms, right? Having count number of rooms greater than 20. There's none. Because all South Africa had the highest number of rooms, right? So if it's a less than 20, it gives us everything, right? So but if you look at it now and say, okay, having counts of number of rooms, say as number of rooms. Let's see what this returns. Okay, so you can't use this here basically. So but if we say greater than 15, right? Three counts number of rooms. So year listed, So we have one greater than 15. So we have yeah, listed greater than 15. So if you have less than 15, greater than 15, greater than, so count greater than 15, yeah. Yeah, listed. So we could have year listed from Airbnb listings, group by year listed, having counts, we can say. Basically, this is, you want to see, you know, the numbers of rooms that are greater than a certain amount, right? But what I want to do is bring in something like another column, something here that's the page, and I'm trying to what can I bring in? So you have year listed, so we can have number of rooms, yeah. Let's see what this returns. Okay, it's bringing out variable number of rooms. So if you say const number of room as room, what do you have here? What will this return? Okay, okay. Our number of rooms greater than 1. Okay, so arrow. Excuse me. Yeah. So basically, what we've done is just to, this is brief, just to ensure that we're able to query a very very small data set, and just get some basic insight out of it that you know draws more on what the Airbnb listing are in few states, few countries, and then we're able to get some inferences out of get some meaningful inferences out of the data. That's all for now. Thank you. It's a long one, but I hope it speaks to um, what I've used this to accomplish. Thank you.